Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the highlights. Government is moving to decentralize medical training. Region 4 Chair calls for stricter enforcement to curb bad road culture. Attorney General says lobby firm was not used to target Melly Mel. And the new president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry intends to support women in business. The Guyana government will decentralize the medical training available to citizens. This was announced by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali during his remarks at the opening ceremony for the U.S. $4.57 million College of Medical Sciences at the University of Guyana.
I want to say to the Vice Chancellor and to Dr. Cummings that the vision is not a centralized vision. We've already discussed this. The vision is how do we take the services of the university in key and critical areas out to every single region in our country. And that is why already the New Amsterdam Hospital will be a teaching hospital, and that will have the capability and capacity to graduate at least 200 students and to take in 200 students. We've already expanded the School of Nursing, not only to Region 10, Region 6, Region 2, but we're looking to further expand this as the Guyana Digital School comes into operation. Outside of these investments, we have about 3,000 students studying nursing and assistant nursing on the Coursera platform. We're negotiating with Mount Sinai in joining their research and education platform so that our students, our doctors can do specialized program on their platform. This is what an integrated education and world-class education and healthcare system must look like, and we're making those investments.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, who was also present at the ceremony, stressed that the new facility is important for the continuation of medical training in Guyana, given the expansion of health infrastructure and the need for additional trained health professionals. The government, to meet its goal of decentralized health training, has partnered with various health institutions to have specialized training delivered through various mediums and missions across the board. Region 4 Chairman Daniel Seram has called for greater enforcement of laws to curb poor road usage. Seram was speaking at the commissioning of a magistrate's court in Friendship on the east bank of Demerara on Monday. The chairman, who addressed senior judicial and law enforcement officials, explained that Region 4 is plagued by bad road culture. He insists that strict enforcement is needed and that examples must be made of offenders.
As I have members of the law enforcement agency here and the judiciary, I'd like to say enough is enough. As I spoke with members of both the law enforcement authority and the judiciary, one of the things that come to mind is that we have to change or curb a culture. And the only way we can curb a culture is by enforcing discipline at all levels. I believe the time of advertisements, slogans has ended, and we must see our men and women in uniform enforcing these laws to the T, and I'd like to see some amount of examples being made in our magistrates' court.
Additionally, the chairman pointed to disregard that some citizens have for new infrastructure being developed within the region. He said that while the government is doing much to construct new roads, walk spaces, and other safety features, some citizens are using these facilities with no regard for whether they're damaged or destroyed.
We've been making budgets available through central government, of course, to build these wonderful edifices, but the public is having scant regard for them. I drove through a community only yesterday to find that newly built sidewalks are being used to park trucks. Newly built sidewalks are being used as roadways, and this cannot happen anymore.
The chairman said that his office will be engaging law enforcement within the region to find a way to curb these infractions since the state cannot provide the facilities which are immediately destroyed by citizens. The regional chairman is adamant that something is seriously wrong on the country's roadways when persons must worry about arriving alive at their destinations. He said while it is not an indictment on any public office or agent, bad road culture has been allowed to fester for too long. An accident in Linden on Tuesday has left a motorcyclist dead. Joshua Ross, 25, of industrial area Linden, died at the intersection of Milius Ward Public Road and Toucan Drive in Linden. The accident also involved a car driven by Juliet Alexander, a 69-year-old pensioner. According to police, the car was traveling north on Toucan Drive, while Ross was driving east on Milius Ward Public Road at high speed, weaving in a zigzag manner. He was also without a helmet and with his motorcycle's lights off. The vehicles collided at the intersection, and Ross was flung several feet onto the northern parapet. Public-spirited citizens rushed him to the Linden Hospital complex, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. A post-mortem is to be scheduled. The annual National Tushaus Council Conference will be held from May 19th to the 23rd. During the forum, leaders from more than 200 Amerindian communities will participate in critical discussions on their development and well-being. The government has allocated $150 million to support the hosting of the conference. Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai engaged with village councils during a recent meeting in Akawini and urged them to actively engage with the residents to be able to fully represent them at the upcoming events. This is to ensure their priority projects, concerns, and requests are accurately represented at the forum. The council is made up of all Tushaus elected by and to serve the people in their respective villages or settlements. It is the only legitimate body that represents, advocates for, and advances the rights of the indigenous community. The new president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Kathy Smith, is hoping that during her tenure, she can support sustainable businesses led by women. Smith is also optimistic about the growth of micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in Guyana. According to the businesswoman, who is the first female leader of the chamber, her election was inevitable since women continue to play a key role in the business sector. It is her intent, therefore, to ensure that women continue to have a place at the business table, with more profitable and sustainable businesses being developed.
I really want, at the end of it, for women to say when I demit office, that women can reach me on the road and say, Kathy, I was just thinking about a month-to-month income. Now I have a thriving business. I have employees. I myself is able to hire women, and they now can dream. And I am open to that. As they dream, they can come and say, you know what, I want to open my own business someday, and that's okay, that's all right. But I think sustainability for me, it's big for women in business because I'm not seeing that. I am seeing a lot of buying and selling, but we need to ensure there's a system in place. So in another 5, 10, 20 years, that business can now be passed on to somebody else.
Smith is also optimistic about the future growth of micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in Guyana, noting that increased opportunities are now available.
I think in another 5 years, our country is definitely going to be having a lot of small, micro, medium-sized businesses being dominant. There's a lot of opportunity, of course, that the large companies were able to grab because of the finance that was available to them. But I think what this oil industry has been doing is to make available financing that anybody who has a dream, who have an idea, can come out and be part of business.
The new U.S. $35 million Mackenzie Wismer Bridge might be completed ahead of schedule. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edghill today visited the site and inspected the ongoing works. The aggressive pace of work has pushed the project ahead of schedule, with 37.5% of the work already completed. In January, project manager at the Public Works Ministry, Patrick Thompson, during a visit to the site, had pointed out that the bridge will have a 2-meter wide sidewalk on both sides and will be elevated about 10 meters above ground level with clearance of over 8 meters. The contract is being executed by China Railway Construction Corporation, the same company that is constructing the new U.S. $260 million bridge across the Demerara River. The contract was signed for 2 years and work commenced in April 2024 and is expected to be completed before April 2026. Attorney General Anil Nandlall is discarding claims that the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration used a lobbying firm to have social media activist Melissa Atwell detained by the U.S. government. In a Facebook statement following her bond release from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Atwell, known as Melly Mel, accused the Guyana government of having a hand in her detention. The statement has since been removed. Atwell alleges that the government used a lobbying firm to feed information about her to the U.S. government. In his weekly Issues in the News segment, Tuesday, Nandlall dispelled the accusation, asserting that the government has neither the time nor resources to expend on individuals like Atwell. Nandlall explained that it was Atwell who informed the Guyana government, as well as her followers, that she was an American citizen. He said that Atwell also informed that she regularly wrote to various U.S. agencies, including U.S. law enforcement, as well as U.S. government, and that she is well protected by the country's working legal system. Nandlall pointed out that the U.S. government does not have to wait on the PPP government to use any lobbying firm to inform them of Atwell's immigration status or marriage.
We have a government to run, we have a country to manage, we have people's welfare to look after, we have the future of this country to manage and protect and preserve. We have neither the time, the energy, or the inclination to expend valuable energy and resources behind characters such as these.
The AG said that the government has a lot more important things to do. Entrepreneurs are invited to apply to the 2025 edition of the Green Tech Fund. The fund, according to the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, offers $1.2 million in grant funding per successful applicant. The ministry explains that the fund empowers individuals and small businesses to develop climate-smart technologies and environmentally friendly business practices. It aims to support green innovation, improved business processes, and sustainable business solutions. As Guyana advances its commitment to sustainable development, this initiative seeks to foster innovation that contributes to environmental stewardship and business growth. Minister Onij Waldron expressed hope that more businesses will adopt eco-centered and eco-friendly practices while maximizing economic opportunities. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Small Business Bureau, Mohammed Ibrahim, said the fund provides an incredible opportunity for entrepreneurs. To qualify, applicants must be registered clients of the Small Business Bureau and submit a detailed business proposal outlining their innovative green solution. The Region 6 Department of Education today concluded its 2-day Regional Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics STEAM Fair. The fair, held at Quarantine Comprehensive High School, showcased the creative skills of numerous students through various models and projects. A total of 40 projects were displayed by students from schools across the region. Held under the theme Innovative Solutions Through STEAM for Sustainable Development in Guyana, the fair highlighted innovation and sustainability. In keeping with the theme, models depicting recycling, green energy, hydropower, and an eco-friendly community in Rose Hall Tong were among those on display. And in international news, there will be a temporary ceasefire in Myanmar's civil war to facilitate rescue efforts after last week's earthquake. According to Al Jazeera, the truce would last from today until April 22nd. The announcement from the governing military followed unilateral temporary ceasefires announced by armed resistance groups opposed to military rule. Those groups must refrain from attacking the state or regrouping, or else the military will take necessary measures, the army said in a statement. State television reports that the death toll from the disaster had surpassed 3,000, with more than 4,500 injured. In an incident underlining the challenge of delivering relief at the time of civil war in Myanmar, the military said its troops fired warning shots after a Chinese Red Cross convoy failed to pull over as it traveled into a conflict zone. The Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs told the media that its rescue team and supplies were safe after the incident on Tuesday. Finally, in sports, Following an intense game today, New Zealand has won the one-day international series against Pakistan. According to reports, Mitch Hayes' unbeaten 99 was instrumental in his team beating Pakistan by 84 runs in Hamilton. New Zealand also took a 2-0 lead in the three-match series. Pakistan struggled from the start, registering 8 wides in the first 4 overs. The New Zealand's openers, in contrast, knocked 23 of the first 2 overs. At the end of the inning, New Zealand had 292 for 8. In response, Pakistan amassed 208. With the series already won, New Zealand will look to complete a 3-0 whitewash when they take on Pakistan in the final match on Friday. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.